Welcome back to DS Trucks. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the cameras on the 2023 Super Duties, and our display piece is going to be our F450 here, and it is equipped with the high output. But in order for me to do a good overview of the camera suite on this truck, I got to drive the truck, which gives us a good opportunity to talk about how the high output drives and how it performs. Anyway, let's jump in the truck and get on the road. So in order for me to show you the camera suite properly, I really should be driving the truck, because a lot of these features are activated when the truck is moving. So since we need to drive the truck, why not display the performance of the high output? Let's see how she accelerates. Whoa, dang, that was quick to 60. Oh my goodness, 40 to 60. So definitely pulls pretty hard. I mean, no complaints really with it. But I will say, I thought it'd be a little bit more. I had a 20 before. Pretty comparable to each other. Something about it, I'm willing to bet that if I had a 23 standard output, I'd be disappointed. I think they did something with the emissions that kind of changed some things, whereas if this would have had the outgoing emissions, then it would have probably performed even better. They put another layer of emissions under this truck, but that'll be for a future video. Nonetheless, the engine, the high output, still performs very well. The mileage, the MPG isn't too bad. Let's see, before we talk about the cameras, let's take a look at the trip meter. Trip 1 is telling me 16.6, but we were doing an MPG loop. Overall, since I got the truck, I'm getting 12.7. But this is an F450, so you really can't expect too great of MPG out of an F450. So, with that being said, the camera. So, 360-degree camera on this truck. You have the forward-facing camera, the rear in the bed, the tailgate in the bed, and the mirrors. I don't have all the fancy cameras because in order to get the truck and make it affordable, I had to not get every feature. This is not a Lariat Ultimate, and it doesn't have the camera like on the tailgate, where when you open up the tailgate, there's another camera on the tailgate, so that you can see in reverse while the truck has the tailgate down. I don't have that. That's a little bit excessive in my opinion. But anyway, what's really nice about this camera system that I have, pretty good system. You can see in the bed of the truck when the truck's driving as a secondary screen. Pretty cool. Off to the side there, as you can see. And I like that. So you have that, and you can also hit your camera button right there, and you can see fully behind you, but you get a little bit of an annoying full view not available. I think they need to update that and take that off of the screen. What is the point of having this great big screen? Like, there's a car back there, and all you can see is that stupid writing right above where that car is. So it's cool that it's there, that it allows you to do this, and this thing will stay on here. I believe even if the vehicle stops, this screen will stay up and it will keep displaying behind me. Very cool. Now, from this screen, I can expand on it. I can either go into bed. Now we go into the bed, the picture quality dropped just a little bit. Good enough though. Full screen in the bed. No annoying writing here. So they need to get rid of that annoying writing on the rear view, because it doesn't make any sense. There's a cop coming. I can see him in my screen. He's probably wondering, why are you swerving in that big old truck? So F450 definitely getting extra attention here. So here we are coming to a stop. I'm curious if this camera, am I going to stop here? Am I going to roll? I'm going to stop anyway. I didn't quite come to 0, but I came to 3 and the screen stayed on. So I do believe nowadays you can just turn on your camera and it'll stay up. So either way, let's go ahead and press these other buttons. So now you can also use the two mirrors, the two cameras on the mirrors, and they are displaying like they are mirrors on both sides. That's kind of cool. I don't know though, but for me, a little distracting when they say, yeah, the reason it doesn't do that because it's distracting. This one is a little distracting, but maybe it's helping me stay in the lane a little bit better too, because it's a big wide truck. So kind of interesting. What do you guys think? Comment below. Let's go ahead and see what else is available here. Quite a lot of features. You do have the trailer hitch. I think with that's our trailer hitch, and it zooms in real good. It's real clear. You can see the freaking tar in the roads that fills the cracks. It's so clear. And I'm wondering if with the trailer hooked up, you'd be able to double check your chains. You'd know, like, hey, I forgot the chains. Super interesting. Very nice view here, and it shows you your hitch. You can actually now see your hitch. There's no timers. I think GM, for a while, they had one that turned on and then it started counting like 3, 2, 1 off. It's distracting for sure to have this on, but nonetheless, looks like we now have the ability to leave our cameras running. So 2023 Super Duties. Hopefully, I mean, there's that a little bit overexposed so you guys can see it. You can see the ground in detail. So I would think this is like a 720 quality. It's not a 4K or it's not a 1080. It's probably a 720. The frame rate's decent enough so it doesn't look choppy. It's able to really show a clear picture. What will really be cool too is a DVR or something like, no, a solid state hard drive, like an SSD. We're coming to a stop here to see what happens when we completely stop the vehicle. What does this look like? But it'd be cool if we had like an SSD card, and say you get in an accident, you have a video record of all these cameras. That would be kind of slick. But there's always something that's kind of missing. So now that we're stopped, we can cycle through our cameras. We have the option to have an auxiliary camera. We can see our bed. We can see behind us. We can see our trailer hitch. We can see in front of us with a very wide angle. And normal, just a straight up shot in front of us. So hook a left here. And I guess we'll continue to talk about the drive. And so far, my experience with the truck, I've got, let's see, how many miles is on this thing? 300 miles. Only 300 miles so far. First tank of fuel. It's starting to grow on me. I originally got this truck, and guys, I'm a landscaper, YouTuber, and I wrench on these trucks. That's kind of my hobby on the side. It's wrenching on these trucks. So getting this, I was a little anxious because I felt this truck, after getting it home and looking at it and everything, I'm like, this truck is too nice for me. I should have got an XL, because this leather steering wheel, I didn't know this was going to have a leather steering wheel when I ordered it. I didn't think it would have a heated leather steering wheel, and you just touch it and I know my hands are going to be so dirty and they're rough. Like, my hands are like sandpaper, and I'm just sanding this leather with my hands daily. I felt a little nervous about this trim. Like, this is too fancy, this is too nice. And then, like, I show up and my guys are working, and then I pull up in this freaking monstrosity. Ooh. Okay, power. I pull up in this freaking monstrosity of a truck, a dually, unobtainable to the average guy. And it's not a good thing for me. It would be more strategic. I need a little power now. Someone's trying to the wheels hopping. It would be more strategic for me to have a cheaper beater POS pull up in, and it's just a POS, like a 150 with rust. That would make sense for me to own a 150 with rust, because then I could just pull up and it makes the same amount of money. I mean, it's not gonna tow like what this can tow. So I guess actually it don't make the same amount of money, but I can get it something that makes the same amount of money, and it can be a POS, and it would make the same amount of money. Or it could be this truck, an XL, or a dump truck. A dump truck would make more money. And I'm actually thinking, maybe I'll order a dump truck, bounce this thing for 6 months, because I did get an A plan. I can't just jump out of it, but bounce this truck for like 6 months, and then trade it in for something that really does make sense for business, as a dump truck or something. The thing about it is I really can't daily drive a dump truck. A dump truck is not really something you drive every day. It's only when working. They ride rough. Cab chassis trucks with their suspensions. This is like, an everyday truck for me. The pickup truck 450, you can drive this thing every single day. It drives better than my single rear wheel F350 with the 7.3 because it's a longer wheelbase truck. The suspension's not that much firmer. If anything, it kind of rides better. It kind of rides softer than the 7.3 does. It's this truck, in my opinion, rides better than the 7.3. But so that's the kind of where I'm coming from. It's a lot. It's flashy. I love the capability. If I could have got the XLT or an XL, could have ordered an XL, and would have been fine. I kind of like the technology, but I don't need the screens screaming at me like this. It's okay. The leather is okay. The leather seats this year are really comfortable, though. I'll say that. I think they're an improvement over what we had in the 2022s. These are more comfortable, I think. But I'm fine in cloth. I really don't care. But nonetheless, I did go with this way. It wasn't that much more money. It was about $8,000 more on the payment wise. It was like $100 a month. But I could have been fine in that. Not so flashy. I pull up to a client's house and it's like bling bling, which is, we're going to see kind of how that plays out. Is that going to be a bad thing, or is that going to be a okay thing? So, so far though, guys, I think high output is the way to go in 2023. I'm curious of how the standard output performs. Basically though, the high output is just a water-cooled turbo and a tune, and with that, it should be a hair more efficient. It should be a hair more significantly more powerful. I think the problem that we have here in 23 is this new emission stuff, and I really need to do a deep dive. When you look underneath the truck, they added another freaking $1,700 worth of God knows what. They made the DPF bigger, and they added another thing, like where there used to be just a downpipe, there's all types of more components, more filters, more. So I'm curious to how much restriction they added to the exhaust. To me, it seems like this truck is still very fast, very powerful, but it has more restrictions added to it that are counteracting its power that it produces. So anyway, guys, we're reaching our limits of our available time. I will cut this video short. I want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight to DS Trucks. See you guys in the next video. Over and out.